28 life path. 28 is the number of wealth. For that reason alone, I believe his crypto should do very well. I'm a big believer in Ethereum. That's one of the few currencies I actually have publicly said I really like this thing. I mean, just from, let's take all the fundamentals that the crypto guys who listen to you, let's put that all aside. You got a 28 life path who basically open the shit. And then secondly, their logo is a pyramid, the pyramid of the Illuminati. These people give you signals. And again, I also like to point out that the first one in the game doesn't always get to be number one. Yes. I mean, before Facebook, Facebook, there was MySpace.
Yes.
Facebook was the second.
Before Google, Yahoo was there.
Exactly.
Yep.
So again, I do believe at some point, Ethereum or something connected to that chain could replace Bitcoin at some point. I don't know when that point is. I'm not going to sit here and cap, but I do think Ethereum's here to stay. I like something called Zcash too.
Yes,
you know, people want to talk about me, you know, talking about the top coins. No, I'm going to talk about number 50 or number 60 top coin. Zcash, I believe, is one of the coins that people are sleeping on. And if you look at the fundamentals of the coin, you'll be like, oh, well, okay, hold on, this hasn't been doing so well. The fact is, at some point, privacy is going to matter. At some point, privacy is going to matter more than anything else. And at that point, you got Monroe or, you know, some of these others, but you can basically hack that one. I've seen how that one works. Well, it sends it to 10 different things. Yeah. And then all you have to do is get it right 10% of the time. You can fucking figure out. That's garbage. When it comes to Zcash, Zcash is privacy at its core. I believe it's the best technology out there for privacy. And for people who think I'm shilling a coin or if I get money, the guy who founded Zcash blocked me on Twitter. So don't think for a second I'm shilling anything for that cloud. I'm just telling you right now, I believe it's the best privacy coin out there. And at some point, we as Americans have to make a stand and be like, yo, if I know your Bitcoin address, I know who you sent money to, I know what you bought. That's not the American way. That's what they do in China. Yes. Here in America, we need privacy. In my opinion, Zcash is the best way to go. The Zcash, again, I don't get any money. I have never showed a coin for money. I want to make that abundantly clear. The guy who founded the coin blocked me. So let that say something to it. I think it's the one that it's going to bring a lot of people a lot of profit in the future.
Okay, so you like Ethereum in terms of against Bitcoin, right? So the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So just to give you a little bit of extra information, right? Ethereum is the technology that's being used by the central bank digital currencies, basically across the different governments. So we do have reports from Goldman Sachs saying they pretty much like it, but they're not saying they're publicly buying it yet, which of course means they're buying it, you know, behind closed doors.
I wouldn't worry what Goldman Sachs says. I'll be more worried about what BlackRock and Vanguard do.
I wanted to ask you about Larry Fink. Or BlackRock, the organization or the person.
Listen, I'm not worried about the guy who runs it. He's like, you know, there's powerful presidents and there's weak presidents. And Fink, to me, you know, obviously he's a powerful man, but he's not the, you know, Caesar. You can get rid of this guy and you could put another guy in his place and nothing's going to really change. When you look at BlackRock, it's the largest public asset manager in the world. I think it's about $9 trillion. BlackRock seems like it's, you know, the top of the world. It's not. It's Vanguard.
Okay.
Vanguard is the top of the world because Vanguard is a private company. BlackRock is a public company. And guess who owns the most shares in BlackRock? Vanguard. So I look at BlackRock as like a shell company for Vanguard, and they like talk shit to each other all the time. Right. It's like WWE all over. Vanguard owns you. Obama keeps his money in Vanguard. This is where all the real players keep their money at. Right. Okay. People have to understand what the difference is between public and private. And by the way, the U.S. government started investigating BlackRock for trades with China and stuff like that. Correct. They didn't do shit to Vanguard because you know what? BlackRock got out of order. Vanguard made a few phone calls and said, "You're my bitch, and I'm about to show you." That's what happened.
I love it. WWE at its finest, right? At the financial level. It's great.
They're all the same. You know, I remember, when I was a kid, you have petty bickering.
Right.
And then when you grow up, you see, whoa, adults still have this petty bickering. And then,
right, at the highest level.
And then when you like meet with billionaires, these people are just as petty as us. They really are. I was talking to this one billionaire. I won't mention no names.
Of course.
And he was talking shit about a guy who was basically worth $300 million. He's like, man, this guy's a clown. I'm like, wow, water runs deep, bro. Water runs deep with these people.